Hi guys, my name is Taylor. I am the newest addition to the Topeka Zoo marketing team. And when I first started here, I realized that there was a lot that goes on behind the scenes that I wasn't aware of. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to take you guys along with me and let's learn some stuff. So today I am here with Joe, and Joe's gonna talk about the Bali Myna and just what he does here at the zoo. So Joe, take it away.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, we're in the rainforest. I take care of this rainforest and I take care of our bug collection. And as you can hear in the background, we are in the rainforest. That bird was our hammerkop, and it's one of our African species. But today we're actually not going to be talking about that bird. We're going to be talking about a different bird called the Bali Myna, which is actually the most endangered bird species we have here at the zoo. They're native to the island of Bali, as the name Bali Myna might suggest. And it is actually considered critically endangered, which means that the numbers are extremely low in the wild.
Right.
Extremely low.
Right. I read somewhere that there's less in kind of the wild than in human care. Is that correct?
Far less. It's hard to know exact numbers on the island that they're native, but generally speaking, it's pretty well established. There's probably not much more than 100, if that, in the wild. And across various zoos and aviaries around the world, there are significantly more than that, but that is very important to have what we like to call an assurance population.
Okay.
In case in the future the wild population truly does collapse.
Okay, and
which is possible.
You use the word aviaries. Explain to me what that means. I'm not familiar with that term.
Yeah, so an aviary is a facility that houses birds, specifically birds.
Okay.
This could be considered in some cases an aviary. We have other species in it.
Sure.
But it's just a free flight area for the birds to live.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I know that we're gonna do, like I said, a little backstage kind of scene. So I think we're gonna take you guys along with us and see what we got going on back here.
Yeah, we're gonna walk back to where the Bali Mynas have their nest. I do have a previous egg from this group. It's a little damaged. I was trying to prepare it, and they're very small, delicate eggs, as you can see. This egg was not fertilized, which means it would never have developed into a chick. So I took advantage of that to try to have as a prop. It just didn't work out so well. So, but they typically lay clutches, which is the term for the number of eggs they lay in a nest, from 1 to 3. And usually only one hatches and makes it and survives. So when they do that, I typically have 1 or 2 eggs that just were not fertilized and do not develop.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to follow me, we're going to actually walk through our rainforest. We're going to go find their actual nest site.
Yeah, let's do it.
So the actual nest box is right here. It's this little black box. And the Bali Mynas are actually lurking around overhead watching us. They're very defensive, very protective birds. They're extremely territorial, so they're doing a good job watching us, making sure we're not going to hurt their nest. And Bali Mynas are what are called cavity nesters, which means they like to nest inside cavities or holes of trees.
Okay.
Which is why we give them a box like this, because it simulates that really well.
Okay.
And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, they tend to lay a clutch size of 1 to 3 eggs. Only one of those eggs will usually hatch and then survive to a healthy bird.
Okay.
We actually do have one baby bird right now, 5 days old, so we're very excited about that. Parents are doing a great job bringing food to the bird, which consists mostly of insects.
So is the baby bird in there, in a nest somewhere?
The baby bird is in this nest.
Okay.
Very young, very, very delicate, so mom and dad need to show up very regularly and feed.
Okay.
And keep the baby safe. Still doesn't even really have feathers yet.
Oh, really?
It'll be about 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks-ish before the bird fledges, at least. And that means when they'll leave the nest.
Okay.
Maybe a little between 3 and 4 weeks probably. It might be a little bit longer than the 2 weeks, but they'll leave the nest. They won't really be flighted all the way yet.
Okay.
They'll kind of flutter their wings. They'll hop around a lot, but they have to practice and then learn how to fly from that point. So even once they leave the nest, there will be a period of time that the mom and dad will still help with feeding and kind of help protect, because as I said, the baby won't fly that well.
Right.
So it'll still take several days to maybe a week or more after leaving the nest that the bird will really start kind of flying around.
Okay, and you said feeding, so I did some research, and Bali Mynas are omnivores, is that correct?
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, which for them means that they eat a lot of insects, but then they'll also eat some fruits and seeds and things like that.
Okay.
Here at the zoo, we feed them a wide variety of fruits and seeds and grains, but I also give them a lot of insects. So they eat mealworms, they eat crickets, they eat roaches, and they love that. They love
that's
insects.
awesome.
Live insects. They don't like the dead insects. They want them live.
The live ones,
yeah.
live ones. Totally get that. Okay.
But yeah, I was hoping they would kind of come down and maybe fly around a little bit, just so you can see that protective behavior.
I kind of saw one.
Yeah, they're kind of lurking above us, the tree back there.
Okay.
But at this point, they know that I come and go at least once a day just to check to make sure the baby's okay. So they're fairly comfortable with me. But even so, I do not really go in there and handle the chicks or move the chicken anyway. My goal for them and most of our animals, I care for the parents, and then the parents care for the baby, because they know how to do it way better than I do. So I just want to make sure they're okay, and then they take care of their babies.
Nice. So would you say that the mom and dad are at least aware of you, right? Like they
react differently around me than others because I do feed them. I'm around them every day, so they're more comfortable with me.
That's so cool.
Now, that's within reason.
Right.
Because I don't handle them a lot, they wouldn't want me just to try to touch them or grab them.
Right, of course.
But yeah, they know that me being around means they're going to get their food and get taken care of.
Right. Very cool. Very cool.
And that's one parent there, and the other parent's in the tree there. And they're just, like I said, they're just staying close, watching. They're not that worried right now, and I can tell from their body language and their lack of vocalizing. When they get upset, they're very vocal. They chirp and make really loud vocalizations, and they bob their head and their crest raises above their head.
Okay.
So they're curious about what I'm doing near their nest, but they're more just watching.
And the crest, is that kind of like back head
Yeah,
area?
it's long feathers at the back of their head.
Okay.
Males have a little bit larger crest than females, and they actually like to raise them as part of not just defense displays, but a mating display. A courtship display. Males and females will raise their crest and kind of vocalize and bob their heads at each other.
Okay.
And that kind of impresses each other.
And I also read that they mate for life, is that right?
So they live in actually large groups that pair off specifically for mating season.
Okay.
And you very likely could have a pair that just stays together through different mating seasons.
Okay.
But they, outside of their mating season, they will live in large groups and stay close together until, like I said, it's the rainy season where they live on the Indonesian islands, and then that's when they actually do their nest and have their young.
Is there a certain name for a group of Bali Mynas?
There might be. I've always just heard a flock.
Flock,
But
okay.
that's a good question, because a lot of animals do have specific names for groups. As far as I know, it's still a flock, but I wouldn't be surprised if on Bali or some of the other Indonesian islands, some people might have a specific name. I might have to look that up. I don't actually know.
Love that. Okay.
But yeah, at this point, I think we should probably head back this way just to clear the space. Like I said, they're not that stressed out, but I still try to keep it quieter and calmer around their nest site as much as possible.
So we'll move back this way.
Yeah.
Okay. I will follow you.
And in the wild, the Bali Mynas do live in rainforests, but they actually like more grassland leading into more trees that are spaced out. They don't really like the really dense, packed rainforests. They prefer a little bit more space. Probably makes it a little easier to fly around. It's harder to navigate in tighter, packed trees.
Absolutely. And I actually just saw one of them fly back there just now, so they're probably checking it out after we were over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Making sure everything's okay, right?
They're gonna peek in the nest, make sure the baby's okay, and then just go back every couple hours grabbing food, bringing it back to the base.
Very cool, very cool, very cool. Well, I really appreciate this little behind the scenes opportunity we got to do today. Joe is awesome, as you can see today. So stay tuned for next week. Not sure we're doing it, but stay tuned and comment below if you have any animals, any birds, anything that you guys wanted us to try out. Just let me know.